Strixhaven is almost here, and this is not just the best Magic the Gathering set of the year. This very well may be, and I do not say this lightly, one of the best Magic the Gathering sets in years. There is just so much to love about Strixhaven. The cards, the draft, the commander decks, but what about cards for inside of your commander decks? Did you notice that they printed Mana Drain in Strixhaven? No, I don't mean in the Mystical Archives, although have you seen the Mystical Archives? These have got some amazing reprints for Magic the Gathering. But never mind the cards being reprinted in the Mystical Archives, just look at this art. Oh my god, I'm in love. No, I mean Mana Drain is in the main set. Kind of. You see, this new card is to Mana Drain what Cancel is to Counter Spell. Well, worse than that really, because the card even requires a certain stipulation to be met in order to even simulate Mana Drain. Enough preamble, let's look at this card everyone's talking about. Mana Sculpt is an unconditional cancel variant, as in a counterspell that costs 1 blue that does legitimately have the mana drain text of add colorless equal to the mana value of the countered spell to your mana pool at the beginning of your next main phase. But it only has that text if you control a wizard at the time of the spell's resolution. If you cast this spell without a wizard, or if someone kills your only wizard in response to you casting Mana Sculpt, then all you've done is cast a $20 cancel. So we're talking about great cards for your commander decks today, and the commander community in particular has been freaking out about this card, and I get it. Mana Drain is one of the best counter spells in all of Commander, and it's a $50. Is it really $50? It's really $50 for a Mana Drain. It is crazy that a card that is capable of doing a similar thing to what Mana Drain does is getting printed into a standard set. Welcome to 2026, and yes, Mana Sculpt will absolutely be a relevant card to Commander, but I don't think that it is the most relevant card to Commander from Secrets of Strixhaven, and I'm not just talking about brand new Commanders. There are a lot better cards from the set for the 99 of your Commander decks. In this video, I'll be going over the top 5 best new cards for the 99 of your Commander deck, as well as 5 honorable mentions, so I guess that means that I'm putting Mana Sculpt at number 11 of best new cards for the Commander 99. Hey, 11 isn't bad. There's some strong stuff in this set. As always, we will only be evaluating cards for their utility in the 99, so if we talk about a legendary, we are talking about it as a part of the Commander deck itself. If you'd like to see what we think the top new Commanders from Secrets of Strixhaven are, you can check out that video here. And remember, Secrets of Strixhaven releases next Friday. Wow, 2 days after my birthday. It's quite a present for me, the professor, but I actually want to give you a present. One of everything from Secrets of Strixhaven when it releases. So that's exactly what I'm going to do on my Whatnot stream next Friday, April 17th at 3 p.m. Pacific. Come hang out with me, the professor, where for my birthday, I'm giving all of you presents. One of everything. Wow, that too, and that. Oh my goodness, from Secrets of Strixhaven, from me to you, on Whatnot. Whatnot is just if Twitch and eBay had a baby. Sellers are able to live stream themselves, offering everything from auctioned off items to buy it now deals. I myself have a store that's jam-packed full of everything from signed playmats. Wow, we got the buy singles restock? Yes! To other cool Magic the Gathering items and accessories, and you get to hang out with me, the professor, and just talk in real time. Not only that, but when you create a brand new account using my invite code, I'm giving you $15 to spend anywhere on Whatnot, on whatever you want. So you got a $15 credit for Magic the Gathering cards or accessories, spend it in my shop or anyone's shop, and you've got a chance to walk away with one of anything from Secrets of Strixhaven. Not a bad birthday with the professor. It's April 17th at 3 p.m. Pacific on Whatnot, sponsor of this video. Before we dive into our list proper, I need to address the elephant in the room. And no, I'm not talking about Quintorius. I'm talking instead about the Emeritus cycle, a cycle of 5 cards from Secrets of Strixhaven that pay a really lovely homage to some of Magic's most iconic cards. And to be fair, they're all very strong in their own right. I don't want to spend the whole video just talking about the Emeritus cycle, but they do at least deserve a brief mention at the start of this video. The Emeritus cycle of cards feature an iconic card of each color going all the way back to the original Alpha set. set, appearing here in a standard set by way of the prepared mechanic. Prepared is kind of like the opposite of an adventure. You cast the creature first, and then you can cast the prepared spell later, once the creature becomes prepared. Some of the Emeritus cards become prepared when they enter, while others require certain things to happen first. Most of them have the ability to become re-prepared after you've already cast the prepared spell once. And just look at what these Emeritus cards bring us: Ancestral Recall, Demonic Tutor, Actual Factual Lightning Bolt, and Swords to Plowshares. And also Regrowth. Oh, sorry Regrowth, you're great, but you're standing next to some giants here. Jokes aside, all 5 of these Emerituses, Emerituses are going to be phenomenal in Commander. Yes, even the green one. The Emeritus of Conflict is certainly the best, as it's incredibly cheap and extremely easy to prepare in a spell's deck. The Emeritus of Ideation and the Emeritus of Woe are the next best, as they have the 2 best spells prepared. Then the Emeritus of Abundance and the Emeritus of Truce are the final of the 5 very good cards. The Emeritus of Truce notably doesn't have a way to re-prepare itself, but white is the color of blink effects, which can help you get multiple bites of that apple. But that's all I'm gonna say about the Emeritus cycle in this video, otherwise the whole video will be about the Emeritus cycle. There's just too much else to talk about from Secrets of Strixhaven. Let's get started with number 5 on our list proper, with an exciting 3-mana rock that breaks new ground into the 3-mana rock design space. Tablet of Discovery is a red mana rock for 2 generic and 1 red mana. When it enters, mill a card, and you may play the card you milled this turn. It can always tap for 1 red mana at a minimum, or you can tap it for 2 mana that can only be spent on an instant or sorcery. What a card! For the most part, 3 mana value mana rocks have been power crept out of Commander, as the format has sped up over the past several years. But if ever there was an exception to this, Tablet of Discovery would be that exception. Right off the bat, if you're able to play the card you mill, as in it doesn't mill a land when you've already played one, or it's not a spell that costs too much to cast, then Tablet of Discovery is immediately worthwhile. And it even helps with that stipulation, as it provides you with mana to help cast the thing it mills right away. What's more, if you have a lot of instants and sorceries in your deck, the ability to tap for 2 sets Tablet of Discovery above almost any other mana rock of its class. We're talking a worn Power Stone that doesn't enter tapped here. The ideal time to cast this card is on a turn when you still have a land drop left to play. That way, if you mill a land with it, you don't lose out on its card advantage. Tablet of Discovery will immediately join the ranks of the playable 3-mana rocks like Cursed Mirror, Wand of the World Soul, and Crowded Crypt, and honestly, I'd say it's already the best of them. Sure, this card works better in Spellslinger decks, but the potential to get immediate card advantage while tapping for extra mana every once in a while makes it viable in pretty much any red deck. It's also great with all the Lorehold cards from both this set and the last set that care about cards leaving the graveyard. This is such a sweet design. It's an instant staple the moment Secrets of Strixhaven hits shelves. But coming in at number 4, wow, Izzet players sure are eating nice with this set, because next up is another red artifact that provides a mana boost for spell-slinging decks. This one adds blue to its cost, though. Resonating Lute is an artifact for 2 generic, 1 blue, and 1 red mana that gives lands you control the ability to add 2 mana of any one color. However, this mana can only be used to cast instant or sorcery spells. As if that's not crazy enough, Resonating Lute can also be tapped to draw a card if you have 7 cards in your hand already. In other words, it has the Library of Alexandria card draw ability. Hey kids, remember Library of Alexandria? Both Spellslinger decks and Storm decks have lots of instants and sorceries they want to cast. Even if a lot of those spells are cheap, the mana you pay for them does add up, especially since many of them draw you into more cards that you'd also love to cast. Both Spellslinger and Storm decks already have access to cost reducers like Goblin Electromancer, and when you pair those with Resonating Lute, your ability to explode on a single turn shoots through the roof. assuming you're able to untap with said Lute. You will, after all, become public enemy number 1 the moment you cast this card. Don't underestimate Resonating Lute's card draw ability either. Library of Alexandria is an incredibly powerful land. It's banned in Commander for a reason, after all. Spellslinger decks will have no trouble keeping 7 cards in hand to keep the cards flowing. One of the best homes for Resonating Lute will be wheel decks, such as Nekusar, the Mind Razor, and the Locust God. While these aren't exactly spell-focused decks, both consistently cast instants and sorceries, and make great use of the Lute's card draw. This excessive mana allows you to continuously chain wheels like Windfall, Wheel of Fortune, and Dark Deal, or just cast the cards you draw off of one of these cards. Resonating Lute is one of the most unique mana-boosting cards that's ever been printed, and a slam-dunk pick for one of the best commander cards from Secrets of Strixhaven. Coming in at number 3, I gotta do it. It's a reprint. It's one of the best reprints we could get. It's Brainstorm. Wait, what? They didn't actually reprint Brainstorm? But it's a merfolk? Sorry, I was looking at the wrong part of the card. It's not really Brainstorm. Harmonized Trio is a merfolk for 1 blue mana that prepares whenever you tap it and 2 untapped creatures you control. What spell does it prepare exactly? Well, it's a Brainstorm. Exactly. Brainstorm is probably one of Blue's most iconic cantrips, popular in both Legacy and Commander. There are quite a few powerful spell reprints tacked onto creatures in this set, but few are as powerful as Brainstorm, not counting the Emeritus cycle, of course. Brainstorm isn't just a cantrip. It's also card advantage if you use it to get dead cards out of your hand, which you can then shuffle away with a fetch land. You can also use it to set up a miracle card like Terminus. Tacking such an impactful spell onto an early game creature is huge. And the thing is, you can do this over and over every turn. Harmonized Trio will find itself comfortable in any blue commander deck with access to creatures. That includes creature tokens, mind you. The Drakes from Talrand, for instance, will be more than happy to charge up with a fresh Brainstorm from your Harmonized Trio, which will trigger Talrand to make another Drake. It gets even more powerful when you run pieces that copy instants and sorceries you cast, like Primal Wellspring or Rhymefire Torque. The ability to cast Brainstorm every single turn and easily makes the trio an absolute all-star. Honestly, it would be the number 1 card on the list if it weren't for how powerful the other 2 remaining cards are. And did I mention it's a merfolk? It's a merfolk. It's going in my merfolk deck. But what are the remaining 2 best new cards from Secrets of Strixhaven for Commander? Well, coming in at number 2, Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. Something busted this way comes. Mixing up my Macbeth references because I'm so gobsmacked by how good this next card is. Cauldron of Essence is an artifact for 1 generic, 1 black, and 1 green. It's got the Zulaport Cutthroat ability, draining each opponent for 1 life whenever a creature you control dies. But wait, there's more. For 1 black-green, the same mana as the Cauldron itself, you can sack a creature you control to bring another one back to the battlefield, which of course will trigger the first ability. This card is reminiscent of a card that is banned in Commander, Recurring Nightmare. Just like Recurring Nightmare, this is a repeatable reanimate that requires a 3 mana investment each time you use it, and sacrifices a creature in the process. Now, granted, unlike Recurring Nightmare, it's difficult to do this multiple times in the same turn. But still, repeated reanimation and the ability to loop creatures with enters the battlefield or death triggers is an extremely powerful effect in Commander. And again, that's not everything this card does either. It also has that Zulaport Cutthroat ability. Cauldron of Essence is a graveyard deck's dream. The card has a home in many Commander decks, from the new Dina Essence Brewer to a classic Golgari deck like Marin of Clan Neltoth, to the ever-brutal Corvold Fey-Cursed King. Its only downside is its color restriction. Plenty of Orzhov or mono-black decks would love a card like this, but honestly, if it wasn't color restricted to Golgari decks, this might legitimately be too good. Recurring Nightmare is banned for a reason, y'all. Cauldron of Essence is freaking awesome, and I actually happen to know this firsthand because I got to play with it myself on Monday's brand new episode of Shuffle Up and Play. Spoilers. Want to know what I did with it? I'll never tell because I want you to watch the episode. This link doesn't take you there because it comes out on Monday, so watch the episode on Monday. But first, we need to talk about the #1 best new card for the Commander 99 from Secrets of Strixhaven, and that's, I wonder what it could be. It's me, the Professor. Sorry to be so pensive about it. Okay, it's not me, a Pensive Professor, but it is the Pensive Professor. Pensive Professor costs 1 generic and 2 blue. Yes, I know, another blue card. Secrets of Strixhaven feels almost like a mono blue set, at least as far as Commander is concerned. Anyway, Pensive Professor is a human wizard with Increment. Increment is a new keyword ability from Secrets of Strixhaven that adds a +1/+1 counter to your Increment creature whenever you cast a spell, any spell, using more mana than the creature has power or toughness. As is the case with other Increment cards, though, it's Pensive Professor's other ability that's absurd. Anytime you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on Pensive Professor, you draw a card. And no, it's not gated with a once per turn clause, which honestly might prove to be a design mistake. This card is positively bonkers in Simic counter decks, shining strong in the 99 led by commanders such as Azuri, Claw of Progress, or Pier, Imaginative Rascal, and Toothy, Imaginary Friend. It synergizes particularly well with cards like Terra Symbiosis and the new Baxter, Fly in the Ointment, which both care about +1/+1 counters and card draw. And it becomes a terrifying threat if you have a Herald of Secret Streams, or even a Champion of Lambholt out on the battlefield. The bigger it is, the harder it hits. Look, we all know by now that +1/+1 counter decks are nuts. All you have to do is sneeze and the deck pops off if you have built it right. Pieces like Pensive Professor are like tossing gasoline into a fire, and then you proliferate on that fire. And if you thought that a card that reads whenever you do something very simple and easy, draw a card with no once per turn clause might be capable of going infinite, well, surprise, you're right. As of right now, there are just 2 cards with the text, whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. The level 3 of Wizard class, and a 4-mana legend from Spider-Man Eternal, Lila, Holographic Assistant. Either one of these cards paired with Pensive Professor immediately draws your deck if you want it to, and you can break the loop at will by targeting a different creature with the final +1/+1 counter. And because both of these cards are also mono blue, you can always run them in the same deck as Pensive Professor if you want to. You can even run Lila in the command zone to have access to 1/2 of your combo whenever you want. Even if you're not going infinite, Pensive Professor is just an excellent card. There are so many ways to add +1/+1 counters to cards in Commander, even outside of dedicated +1/+1 counter decks. Pensive Professor's ability is totally absurd, easily making it the #1 new card for the Commander 99, and I'm not just saying that because it's Professor, but, it's kinda cool. There was a merfolk on the list, too. 3 of them, kind of. But of course, these are just my picks, and now I want to hear from you. There are so many great cards in Secrets of Strixhaven for the 99 that it was really hard to narrow down this list. So if I left off one of your favorite new cards for Commander, let me know in the comments below. And remember, Secrets of Strixhaven pre-releases my birthday weekend, so I'm giving all of you presents to celebrate. That's right, it's my Whatnot Stream Professor birthday giveaway, where I'm offering one of every product from Secrets of Strixhaven from me to you, courtesy of Whatnot. Not only that, I'm giving everybody, each and every person who creates a brand new account, a $15 credit to spend in my store or any store. Pick up some Magic the Gathering packs, or singles, or signed playmats, or whatever you like. Just go to www.whatnot.com/invite/Tolarian College to get your $15 credit when you create a brand new account, and then tune in next Friday, April 17th at 3 p.m. Pacific, hang out with me, and maybe walk away with some birthday presents from the Professor. Also, brand new Shuffle Up and Play with Secrets of Strixhaven this Monday. See the trailer, it's about to play now!
Next time on Shuffle Up and Play.
Class is in session. It's Shuffle Up and Play's Secrets of Strixhaven pre-release episode. What's sus? Because secrets. Who opens up this box?
I need this! I am so tired of turtles you do not understand. I am going to lose it!
Look.
Oh, I got
secrets.
Oh.
Secrets.
Is a returning mechanic in this set, and this is one of the most well-known
secrets
cards.
I will play
secrets.
It's a
secrets.
that can.
I got secrets. I didn't realize it was in the special guest.
I didn't know either.
I got
Wait, there's
special guest
secrets.
That's so cool.
If you ever find yourself with a good prop and an evil prop, and they're saying, I'm the real prop, just ask them to count to 3.